Welcome to the Asian Dating Podcast. I'm your host, Mei Bugenhagen. I am an Asian matchmaker, started my business in Los Angeles. And this week I have another Asian matchmaker on the show. Her name is Xiaoli Mei. She is a matchmaker and founder of Elite Asian Matchmaker, which is a boutique matchmaking company in the Bay Area in San Francisco, serving affluent men, high net worth men who want to date Asian women. So welcome to the show, Xiaoli. How are you?
Yeah, I'm good. Thank you for inviting me. Uh, yeah, we're based in Bay Area, but we're actually serving clients, mainly, East Coast and West Coast. So we have a lot of clients in LA, San Francisco, and also New York City as well, DC. All the, where the Asian goes, that. But yeah.
So what do you think about Asian women? Where are they usually out of that you feel like there's a lot of Asian women? Is it more so in New York, San Francisco, LA? Like, where are all the Asian women hiding?
I think, just these three places you mentioned that there's a lot of Asian women, but I guess they're hardworking. So you don't easily, especially those beautiful, well-educated Asian women in general are very ambitious. Uh, they value, education. They also value career. Yeah, I have a lot of members, including clients or even database members. They are hard workers. Yeah, they're doing very well in life.
What if a man who wants to date Asian women, but he doesn't have a BA degree or doesn't have a master's degree? Like, how would he portray himself to come off as an educated, smart, intelligent man to an Asian woman if he doesn't have the formal degree of a bachelor's or a master's?
I think it's really dependent on like how smart he is. If he is ambitious, sometimes education is not the key. Just use example. Facebook CEO, right, founder Mark Zuckerberg. You can say, he never had graduated. He's a dropout, from the college, but still Priscilla is the Asian woman, married him because it's valued the ambitious and how he, does the business, how caring for the partner. But yeah, so I think for Asian women, the financial stability, the career is more important than just the education. I mean, there are women value education, but it's all depends. So it's not necessary if you're not educated, you will not be matched with all Asian women. It is really how your attitude about life, how you're doing about your life, it's more important. If you are just sitting on the couch doing nothing, might be hard to write. But if you are really running, few businesses, doing well, contribute to the society, so that's exciting, inspiring,
Yeah, yeah.
right? Yeah.
Well, today I wanted you on the show to talk about men who want to date Asian women. Obviously, that is where we both are very strong at, and those are our strengths to help out our clients and have them meet Asian women. Now, based on your experience, you've been doing this for a while now, whether it's date coaching women and men or doing the matchmaking for men and women. Asian women are doing online dating. Are there certain keywords that they're looking for in a guy's profile that they feel like, okay, he's not a loser, he's a successful guy? Like, what are some things that men can say on their profiles that make the Asian women go, okay, I might be curious about him?
I think that before we talk about online dating profile, it is really important how the man writing his profile. I met my husband 16 years ago online, and I think he really spent his time to writing his profile, not just like a few sentences. I'm looking for, a person who whining, dining, traveling around. Something like everybody's looking for. So it's really how to define who you are and your attitude about life. What's your passion? uh, what do you do for living? Why you like, your job? Those things I think it's more attractive. Asian women, as I mentioned, that they're looking for someone who is more with a stable environment. A man can be a good provider, not from a money perspective, but also emotion perspective, like who is a good emotional like you know what's the words emotion like
Intelligence.
emotional like available. Yeah, you feel like you when you're with this man, you feel being protected, you feel safe, you feel you can be yourself, you will not be judged. I think of those things, but you can really reflect in your profile how you write your profile. Besides those basic height, where you go to school, where you live, things like that. Yeah.
So you're saying that what caught your attention about your husband's online dating profile was that he took some time to write complete sentences and grammatical correctness and all that? Because I find that when I'm helping men do their online dating profile, that they're not providing extra information to make them stand out. I feel like they could do a better job of it, especially when they say that they're looking for a life partner. It's like, why not spend an hour or an hour and a half building that profile and taking your time to really write it out? I feel like sometimes people just put a couple words, couple sentences, couple misspelled words and think that's enough. And that is not going to impress an Asian woman. I just don't think that's the answer.
Yeah. So I think this is perfectly leading to why matchmaking helps, because as a matchmaker, we help a client because not all the men or even women, they know how to express themselves. Maybe like on words, like how to presenting themselves, right? So that's why, oh, could be they're just busy. So they just put a few words. But when we, develop a profile for our clients, we really first get to know them. We do Zoom call or sometimes even meet in person to really get to know them. And we afterwards, we still sending out the questionnaire, right? To just get, a sense of them from a different perspective in life. And then we're really spending our time to craft their matchmaking profile. And that the profile should really present who he is. And that's one thing. And of course, it's on paper. But for all the matches, which is the candidate, we really just spending a time to explain to, let's say if a guy is our client, when we talk to the ladies, we were really presenting this guy as our client and we tell the ladies, how good he is, what he's looking for, what his achievement, all the things. So sometimes before even I present the profile, the ladies like, yeah, I want to meet him. See, that's the difference. That's why I said that we are the spokesman for our clients. We present, represent to our clients. Yeah. To highlight all the key achievement or all the key, personalities, characters of this guy. And that's how, the lady feel like, wow, this is attractive, person. I want to meet him.
I think you're right. I feel like if somebody is not very good at marketing themselves or talking about themselves, it's tough, right? I mean, even when we compose a resume for work, it is tough to list all of our accomplishments and our achievements and the results of all the great stuff that we did for a previous company. So sometimes people
Yeah.
just need help with that. Sometimes people just need a matchmaker to ask them, and draw out the answers from them because they might not know how great they are. But as an objective person, as a matchmaker, I feel like we can find out a lot of information about somebody. That's actually no different than any of your friends can be a matchmaker for you. They just learn about you and talk about you. So anybody can be a matchmaker for anybody if you have those skills of advocating for your buddy or something, right?
Yeah. So like in, you know, I based in Bay Area, so the Silicon Valley, a lot of software engineers, those guys are super smart in technology, but in terms of talking about themselves, talking about their emotion, and then they sometimes just don't know, which is true. That's why we help them. And there's a few times, I noticed that like one by asking them question, they got excited because they don't know themselves them well. By poking those questions, they will feel like, oh yeah, I am a good, catch. I remember one time there was a CTO came to me, that was years ago. He was very low at a low point in his life because divorced after 35 years marriage. So he really, just in a very bad, mood. But then when after talking to him, I said, you're a great catch because you're this, this, this. He's like, oh yeah, you're right. Like I didn't even notice.
I know.
Yeah.
I feel like
So
engineers, man, there are some great engineers out there. I wish women would give them more of a chance because they are like a diamond in the rough. Like they're super smart with what they do. They could be a mechanical engineer, electrical engineer, software engineer, whatever that may be. I feel like engineers are diamond in the rough that women just need to get to know them, give them a chance because they could be great providers, great husbands, great dads. I mean, they already have a great career that they're probably going to excel in and do very well in life. I wish women would just give those types of guys more of a chance instead of looking for like the top, tall, hot guy. Like tall, hot guy is not going to be the best provider because they just might not be. So I don't know. Anyway,
yeah, well, it's the thing. Like all the engineers how they present themselves online will be so different when we're presenting them as clients. That's why engineers need us in a way to best present them. And back to that CTO example, because I matched him with a girl. The girl's really beautiful. This girl actually wanted to meet, like a CEO or the entrepreneur. It's all like a, successful, uh, the man with a jet, stuff like that. But guess what? Later on, she told me, and those guys, yeah, they're busy, they are successful. They don't really spend time, uh, you know, with her. Like there's no quality time, or they don't really listen to her, right? They just think that she's a great data because she's beautiful.
mhm,
But when she met this CTO in the beginning, she feel like, yeah, I don't know about the chemistry. Like he's not that exciting, that tall, handsome, but he really listened, and then he really did whatever she asked for, for dates, just simple. I want to meet, once a week. He said, yeah, that I will do that. So
uh,
it's like she felt like it's really easy with her because with him because whatever she asked for, he will do it.
right.
That's a great husband material, right? Yeah.
I agree. I agree. Do you get a lot of men who come to you and they say they want to date Asian women, want to meet Asian women, but they've never dated Asian women before? Do you ever get those guys like that?
Yes, I got a both. Like someone had a Asian girlfriend before, and some just learned very interesting from their friends. Because I have a guy said, "Oh, I said, why you want to date Asian women? Oh, my best friend married an Asian wife. their marriage is so good and she is so family oriented. I want to find it just exactly like that kind of wife. So yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
so yeah, everyone has a different a way of interest of why they want to find an Asian wife.
So
But
how do you help the guy or how do you guide him in making sure that he respects and embraces the different cultures between him and the woman? Like, how do you prepare him for that?
that's a great question. So, especially for the guys never dated an Asian woman, we do have in a way, kind of a orientation, just like really asking, is he interested in all Asian women or particularly, or just the East Asian or South, even in Asia, different country has a different, culture, right? So we will give some kind of a cultural orientation and the do's and the don'ts, also the customs, in each country. Yeah. Most of the guys are very receptive.
Yeah.
And then especially nowadays, travel is not a big issue. So people even never dated Asian women, but they into Asia, they met Asian people, knows a little bit the culture, yeah, custom, traditions.
So
Mhm.
would you suggest that if he's dating a Chinese woman that he does some basic research on Chinese traditions or learn a little bit about Chinese New Year or know what to expect if she takes him to dim sum and she orders chicken feet? Like, do you suggest he learn those things with his Asian friends before he dates an Asian woman, if he has any Asian friends? Or he should just fess up to her and say, you know what, I'm not too familiar with dim sum. Will you explain it to me? Like, what do you suggest he do?
I think it's always good to do a little homework before you really go on date, meet with an Asian woman or the say Chinese woman, because she will be impressed. Like, oh, he knows my custom, my culture, my tradition. So that's a big plus. Like, you really give a good impression for women. And majority Asian women coming to us, they are, if they not say only looking for Asian men, they're open for non-Asian men. They always say, well, I would prefer someone who is really like our culture or at least willing to learn. So we would suggest that they do a little homework. I mean, where the resources as well to can tell them. And some clients will even have like first date preparation session, just to, get on the Zoom or even on the call, give the clients a little bit, heads up about the culture, the traditions, everything, what he should aware. And I think there's one client even coming to me ask for advice, like the girl decided to take him to meet her parents, which is, from China. So he was all nervous, like, okay, what should I say? What should I do? I said, yeah, first is take off your shoes.
Right.
Yeah.
That's a big one. Taking off your shoes. And I was always brought up to not go to someone's house empty-handed. If you go to someone's house as a guest, you should bring something, however small or however thoughtful. What is that something you recommend
Yes.
a guy do?
Yes.
Nothing extravagant, like totally expensive, but just like a little
Yeah.
small.
I mean, that's for sure. Like in old days, when you go to, in Asian family, you go to people's house, even it's just a friends, you gotta bring, a box of a cake or cookie, it just show the, I come to your house. This is, my appreciation. But nowadays, a bottle of wine, flowers, anything would do. Like especially if you meet parents, that's also very good way to bring a little gifts. Doesn't have to be big, like you said, expensive, but it is really a token, you know.
Yeah, yeah. Now, what are some other reasons or some other ways a non-Asian man or Asian man can impress the Asian woman on a date? What are some things that he can do to show that he is aware of her different culture? Like it could be a Korean man going out with a Chinese woman. Like, what are some things that an a dater can do to impress an Asian woman on a date?
I think to impress women, Asian women, the very first is a gentleman pay the first date,
I
pay the
know.
meal.
I know.
That's yeah, like a split. Go Dutch will really ruin the chemistry or connection. Period.
I
I don't know
know.
about.
Right.
I cannot speak for other non-Asian women how they feel about this matter, but I know for Asian women it is big turn off if men don't pay for the first date, or maybe first a few dates, but at least the first date.
Yeah.
That
I feel
some
like first
guys.
and second date, I feel like a man should pay. And, as an Asian woman, when I went out on dates, I felt like the man should pay first and second date. And if you're not going to pay on the first date, then you probably shouldn't even be dating Asian women or non-Asian women. I feel like guys are finding reasons or excuses to be cheap sometimes.
No, I asked some guys, they give me the feedback is that they don't want to hang out with someone like a gold digger, just only like him because his money. But however, it is really interesting to hear what Asian women say. And that, I talk to women all the time. And the Asian women, of course, want to feel, I mean, all the women want to feel like, I'm a lady, I'm being treated by a man, right? But that they also want to feel if this guy is generous. It's not really say, oh, I'm just looking for money. One lady told me, she said, Xiaoli, you have to know, like, I'm an Asian woman. I'm not very family, oriented. And if I married my husband, right? If this guy is really, I feel he treated me well, he's generous to me, he's very caring. When I married him, we are the family. I will find a ways to help saving the money for the family
Yeah.
or saving the money for the kids' education. So it's a different when you're dating, you're courting the woman, or when you finally become a team, a family together. So she said, a man who spend more money to me, and then if I feel, just like if this is the man for me, I would try anyways, like how to be smart in making money in the business so we can together make more money for the family, for the future kids. I think that's a really good point. And there's
To
so many women actually also told me, after a few days, because we train guys to pay the meals for the first few days. The girls were coming back to me say, "Oh my God, he paid us 3 days. So I just do the next one because I feel bad. I don't want him always pay." So see, women's not all the gold diggers. Yeah, it's so nice when you're courting someone, old-fashioned gentleman, right? You pay for it. Yeah.
I know, I feel like if you're not going to take the time to court a woman and to take her out and make her feel special and show that you're generous, then you shouldn't be dating an Asian woman because I feel like an Asian woman does want that. She's not going to be a gold digger. That doesn't mean she's a gold digger if you're paying for the first 3 dates. I mean, it just means you value her, you value the time you're spending with her, and you want to take her out and show her a good time. But like you said, once you're in it together as a partnership, she's not going to expect you to do all that. She will be part of the team and help save money and help.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Now, how can you tell, being a matchmaker now, how can you tell if a woman is a gold digger?
Well, I can really tell if she's always asking for money or asking for something because Remember we shared a one client and the one match actually client will reflect back to us say, hey, I really like her, but she's already talking about like, need money for the house down payment or this. It's way too early in the beginning of the dating. And that's go bigger. Or she will say, oh, I need a monthly allowance or something like that. Then we actually will, in a way, warn our clients, say, hey, just be careful. Because some girls are acting really normal in the beginning, but once, a few days into they start asking money, that's not good. Um, and in generally, we don't match girls who are only looking for green card because that's something to us, matchmaker, that's a red flag. Unless the guy don't care, the clients don't care. But this is the transparency about matchmaking. We're upfront about what this girl's looking for. Of course, she might still looking for love, but there's a condition and she wants to have a green card. And then we usually very, very careful not to make match just based on that.
Yeah. What do you think about if a woman on the first date, she asks you to set up the date with the man, but at a $4 sign restaurant as her first date? Does that bother you?
Oh, yeah, I will because I'm the one setting up a first date. And then you know how many times I said no to the girls.
Yeah.
I said no. I said any restaurant require credit card? No. And then if any restaurants Michelin rated, not for the first day. I said if for second date the guy, really likely want to take you there. But as a rule for our matchmaker, we don't set up a fancy dates for the first one. The restaurant has to be decent. There's a romantic vibe, good food, but it's not extremely expensive. That's not proper, in
Yeah.
my opinion. Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. I agree. Now, you mentioned a little bit about chemistry. Now, what happens if you have a man and a woman, they go out on a date, and the woman says, you know what, he's great on paper, just, you know, 80% of what I'm looking for, everything matches really well, but I just don't feel any butterflies. What do you say to her?
Well, I said the butterfly is very dangerous. It's gonna ruin you. So if 80% match and there's no big red flags on first date, like there's no big turn off, just because no butterfly, I would also suggest that, this woman go on more dates, maybe three more dates, four more dates until you feel like, oh, I'm sick. I don't want to go out with this person anymore because chemistry will develop. Yeah.
Did when did chemistry develop for you and your husband when you guys started dating? Did you right away know, like, oh, he's so cute, like I want to kiss him? Or when did that happen for you?
I think as uh, the feeling I want to kiss him is like after 5 dates. The first date it was just like yeah, he's handsome. Just the feel about very good with him. I think that's the because before I met my husband, I dated a bunch, okay, and then someone really gave me butterfly. Once you get a butterfly, you start like checking your phone, your email. How come he's not calling me, texting me? That's actually not good feeling. Thinking back, but with my husband, after first date, I just feel so good. And I don't really care if he texts me or not. I just say like, yeah, he's nice guy, but like, we'll see. So the energy is really calm. And then he just, he didn't text right away. He texted a few days later and then asked for another day. So it's just a very naturally, organically like unfolding. There's no butterfly. There was like no, I'm checking email why he's not, texting me. I'm like, okay, if he doesn't text me, that's fine. Even he's nice. Yeah. I think, This is really all the the marriage happened in my matchmaking. Is people tell me like that. There's no like a first click, like, oh my God, he's gonna be the one. Oh, she's gonna be one. They always say, well, it's very nice. I like to open to meet the person again. And then a few days later, they come back say, yeah, we're still seeing each other. And a few days later, so it's like it's a gradual. They feel the connection getting stronger and stronger, and they feel more compatible because they know each other better. Young
So you're
people,
saying,
though,
oh,
sorry.
so you're saying that people should just give someone a chance. In other words, you just don't know. And it's almost a bad thing if you feel butterflies right away, because then you're so worked up on, is he texting me? Is he calling me? And you just get so anxious about it.
Yeah, because once you get that butterfly, you in a way emotionally you are hooked. Yeah, and then you cannot you're not acting normal. For girls, like after date, they were checking with the girlfriend, what should I say? What should I do? Those are usually the butterfly as an effect, impact on you because you feel like you cannot think straight. The yeah, it's the majority of the success I see, so far it was like it's all very calm. You just feel good. You feel you can be yourself and um, relaxed, that kind of feeling. Hmm.
So,
Butterfly is dangerous.
so what dating advice would you give your daughter when she's ready to date?
She's in high school, so she's already, have a crush. She has a crush. It's like every 3, 4 months. So it's hard for me to give her dating. So it's funny. She had a crush on this guy, and she's asking me how to text this guy. I said, "Don't text," but she still didn't listen to me. It's like she got a butterfly. So even I said, "Don't text," because you already said enough, waiting for him to reply, but it's just a young kids. So she still texts back quickly. But anyway, long story short, it didn't work out. So I don't know how to give a dating advice to 18, 17 years old, girls. They can't listen. But I would say if she had a crush, I would never say, okay, this is not right. Like you cannot date this person. I just let her go because I know, this naturally you will know it's gonna work out or not. But
Yeah.
there's a certain few principle, like you cannot have a sexually, involved at this age yet. There's a certain principle. You cannot, come home later than 10 p.m., things like that. But other than that, I will just, if she has crush, just go for it.
So when someone is first starting to date, they met online or met through a matchmaker like yourself, how often should they meet per week? How often should they meet that person every week? Once, twice? What? What do you
I
think?
think in the beginning, it depends on people's schedule, right? Every day is not good. It's too fast. I think twice per week, it's still, on a heavy, but people if you like live really close and then really like each other, twice per week is fine. But there's no once a week is actually perfect in a way because, yeah. I
When
would prefer once a week. When I was dating my husband, he traveled a lot, but if as long as he was in town, we usually just do once a week on weekends. Because we're all busy. I was single mom with 2 kids. He got a business to run. Yeah.
Okay. Now, when should someone introduce their significant other or the person they're dating to their friends?
That's actually really dependent. I think it's important is uh it depends on how excited they are. And I would think guys should start introducing that goes to his friends first. That's what the advice I usually give to girls. Like if the guy is really excited about you and can't wait to introduce to his friend, that means he really into you, you know. I think I would have vice versa because by the time you feel you're ready to introduce to your friends, that means that there is a possibility for into a relationship. People usually avoiding to introduce the partner to, you know, girlfriend or boyfriend to friends or family. Usually they are just having good time, but they're not ready to be exclusive. That's usually, yeah,
So
that's what
that's
it's
a
about.
red flag if you're dating for like over a month or 6 weeks now and you haven't met any of his friends. That's a red flag, you would think?
I wouldn't put time on it because each individual really depends. Let's say if he just came here by himself, most of his friends or families back in East Coast, you know, for example, maybe it may not happen in 1 month time period. But generally rule is yeah, it's how fast the person will introduce you to the friend circle, family circle is determining, you know, how available or who's ready to have an exclusive relationship.
So
Yeah.
if they were dating in a month and he has like his best friend coming into town, you would expect him to introduce her to his friend if that friend came from out of town. Like that's important enough for him to say, "Hey, you should meet my buddy."
Yeah. I mean, when a girl hear that, especially if she really like him, she will feel like, wow, see, his best buddy come in town and he already invited me. That says something. Yeah. But I don't think a girl should get upset. Just that, you know, in a month, the best friend come in and didn't invite. I think the timing. I don't really want to put a timing on it. How long? But if after 3 to 6, you know, between 3 to 6 months, you're still not met his friend circle or her friend circle, that tells something. Yeah.
Yeah.
But 1 month may be too short.
Yeah.
That's my opinion. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. When should someone ask someone to be exclusive? Should the man be the one to bring it up?
Well, that's a really good question. I think I would say, you know, in the dating period, it's okay to have a physical intimacy. Physical intimacy has a levels. So it's, let's say, holding hands, you know, a little kiss here, there. That's fine. But if you really, again, it's just my opinion based on my experience, you know, over the years working, my personal experience or working with the clients. So if two people want to get a really physical intimacy, which is, you know, I always call a home run, simply put, having sex, and then it should talk about it. If the guy really want to, you know, say, hey, let's have a sex. Then the girl should mention is okay, I would love to, but are we being exclusive? Because that's the first criteria. You cannot like oh having sex with someone still the online profile is wide open, right? Meeting people. But before that, you know, it's okay. You meet people, I meet people, and to determine who will be the best fit. But if you go to that stage, we should have a talk. So if a guy didn't bring that up, but he really wanted, okay, spend the night at my place tonight. So then the girl can really have that talk.
She should bring it up if she
She
thinks
should.
that
She
something's going
should.
to happen.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. And if a guy bring up that first, that's great. If the guy say, you know, let's be exclusive, let's put our profile off. Like some guy will coming back to matchmaker. I mean, you met that situation before, like, okay, I don't need a more match, just hold my membership because I really like her. I want to spend more time to get to know her.
Okay. That's good.
Yeah.
That's great
So,
advice. Great advice. Do you ever have clients where they don't listen to your advice? And what was that situation like?
oh, yeah, I mean, of course, we are not, you know, the highway, right? It's not my way, it's a highway. You have to listen. And I always say, I'm not their parents. So even their parents, they may not listen. But we really, as a matchmaker, we give a guidance, we give suggestions, we give a recommendations. But fundamentally, the other one will be, on their own path, doing their own thing. Sometimes they didn't listen, they still, do what they wanted to do. But months later, sometimes even like a years later, they'll come back say, you know what, Xiaoli, you were right. But at that time, I just couldn't listen. I just like emotionally, I just not ready to hear that. It happens a lot. I mean, I don't know about you. Me, even my own experience, like when my mom told me when in my 20s, I was like, oh no, I didn't want to listen. But now I'm like, yeah, she was right, certain things. I wish I could have listened, but I didn't.
Yeah, I
So
think I just had a different relationship with my parents. Like they never gave us any kind of dating tips. They didn't even ask, like, are you getting married to this guy? Like, who are you dating? My parents were really like hands off with dating. It was all of a sudden it's get good grades, go to a good college, get a good job. And then all of a sudden it's like, okay, where are the grandkids? And it's like, what? I didn't even know you wanted me to date, or we were even allowed to date, or we were even allowed to wear makeup, all this stuff. So it's just very different, different kind of relationship with my parents where they never pressured me. Even when I dated this guy for like 3 years, they never said, oh, when are you going to get married? Nothing like that.
yeah, so for example, there's a lady who husband passed away. So she took 2 years to just being, alone, healing. And then she came to me. She said that she's ready. But I said, are you sure you're really ready? So she's like, yeah. And then I put her on dates. And then all she talked about is her late husband. Husband passed away. They had a great marriage. I mean, so that was a great, she had a great marriage, but somehow she's still in the past,
Mhm.
not ready to open up her heart yet, even she logically thinking she's ready. So then we circle back to her, say, maybe either she need more time or she should be opened up, not like compare every single match to her late husband, but she just wouldn't listen. So like in a way, she wasted that membership, And then 2 years later, she said, yeah, you were right. Like I shouldn't have just waited. Things like that. Yeah.
When a spouse pass away and then the one who wants to move on and meet someone else, I always try to remind them to go to restaurants that they did not take their spouse to, try to go to new places, try to do new experiences so they're not constantly comparing their current date with their spouse. Like go to a different restaurant. You don't want to go to a restaurant where everybody knew you and your late spouse. You want to go someplace new almost and create new memories and new experiences.
Yeah. Yeah. So another big one, usually client don't listen as they have their own type. Okay. So either, physical type or whatever the type. But then when they coming to us, we always say, we're gonna let you think out of the box to break through your type. But they still want to stick with that type. So we say, well, you've been on your type on your own for so many years. Now coming to us, just be open-minded. But some will do, but some are still like, no, I just want my type. So then, we keep giving him the time, but still things not working out. Yeah, I
You
know.
know, there's been many times where I take on clients and they tell me their type and I send them people that is their type. And then all of a sudden they meet someone on their own and that's completely not who we were searching for. Like they might say that I don't want to meet anyone with kids. And then this person is a single mom and they want to meet someone 35 and under, and this person is 43. So I
Yeah,
feel like
yeah.
people are pretty open when they date on their own. I'm not understanding why, when they hire a matchmaker, they are so narrow minded. Like, if they just branched out and let the matchmakers do the job, they would meet their person so much quicker. I feel like if you're going to pay all this money to a matchmaker, you might as well date everybody that we recommend to you so you can experiment, compare and contrast, and get to know people and just really give it a chance. You just really don't know, right? Like, I didn't know I was going to marry a guy and then move to Colorado and someone younger and someone who smokes. Like, you just don't know that you're going to end up with somebody who you think you're going to end up with, and then it's
Yeah,
be someone
exactly.
different. Yeah.
There's always the magic happens
Yeah.
unexpected, right? Like
Yeah.
you think if you determine what's the result, it's how it's gonna happen. Yeah, it's not gonna happen that way.
I feel like the most successful clients that I have, that I work with, are ones that come to me and say, you know what, I am open. I want to meet whoever you recommend to me. And here's my criteria, and try to meet 70% of that criteria. And I will find you your wife. If that is your attitude and you say, hey, here's my criteria. If you meet 70% of it, I'm going to meet her. And he goes out with everybody. Like, those are the clients that I am super successful with. Those are the clients that I'm 100% successful with. If they just are open minded, don't you feel like any client who comes to you, you can be successful if they would just listen to you?
Yeah. So my package, people always ask like how much you charge. I said it's really to give you a standard price because everyone's so different. That's why I needed to do a consultation, get to know the person, because just by talking to the person, I know how open-minded he is or she is. And then it's really determining like how fast I can find the matches for the person. I always know from the first the consultation. Like a 6 months, I'm pretty confident I can find you someone being exclusive, or this one probably need longer because he's so narrow-minded. He's so fixed on his idea. The most successful clients from my end, similar to you, is the one who's like, yeah, I go out with anyone you give me. I trust your process. I trust your ability to find those matches. Plus, I always tell them we live on the feedback. So we may not give you the perfect match on the first, couple of matches, but then you give us feedback, then it will be better and better. So, and the clients just getting, more and more into the process. They feel like, okay, each match is better than the last one. This one is more closer to what I'm looking for. That's how, you know, the magic happens. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
We see good results. Yeah.
Well, thank you, Xiaoli, for spending time with me and talk about matchmaking and chemistry and open-minded and the best way for you to be successful with your clients. Yeah, I
It's fun. It's fun. I love chatting. I feel like next time we should bring coffee,
yeah,
coffee chat. I, I love to talk those things.
yeah,
It's my business, my passion. I never get tired of talking about, relationship, dating,
yeah.
man, woman. Yeah, it's amazing.
Well, I'll put all of your information in the show notes, but just tell us really quick, what is your ideal client and who can you help and have the most successful partnerships with?
Well, I can help singles. So my niche is really, for any gentlemen who are interested in meeting Asian women, fascinated by the Asian culture. That's where I can really help. So it doesn't matter you are Asian or you are non-Asian, gentlemen, as long as you love Asian culture, love Asian food, and value Asian partner, their family, their intelligence, their all the good qualities. I'm here to help.
Okay,
Yeah.
great. Thank you, Xiaoli, for coming on the Asian Dating Podcast this week. For women out there, I would love to meet you. Please go to twoasianmatchmakers.com, fill out a profile with me. I would love to have you in my Rolodex. So if there's a great guy that Xiaoli has or that I have, we would love to set you up. And it's free for women. So the men are the paying clients. So men, if you need some help with me or with Xiaoli to help you find a great guy, please contact us at twoasianmatchmakers.com, and I will see you next week. Thank you, Xiaoli.